What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ace. This is Fantasized Football. We are back once again, bringing y'all some more fantasy football content for the 2021 fantasy football season. And I am here today to bring y'all another mock draft because it is Friday. But before we get into the specifics, real quick, shout out to you, and you. Thank you so much for coming by on a weekly support, showing you on a weekly basis, showing your boy some love and support. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself there. And if you're new, thank you for coming by for the first time, giving your boy an opportunity. It really honestly means the world to me. If any point in this video you do enjoy, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Help me reach my goal of 200 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the fantasy football season. But yes, it is time. Do you know what today is? Do you know? It's my boy back there. If you never met him, that's my dog. Today is the day that we've run the gauntlet. We finish it off. We're doing the 11 spot today. This is the one spot we have not done yet this season. So if you've missed any of the mocks, go back through the channel. We got a playlist, 2021 mock drafts, and go check any of them out that you've missed to kind of see what we do based on where we are drafting. But yes, today we are on Fantasy Pros, right? We are using the draft simulator. We're doing 12 teams, full PPR, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, 1 flex, and 7 bench spots, like I mentioned, from the 11 spot. So let's go ahead and kick off our draft. Let's hit that there. Start draft. Boom, skadome. Our draft is loading. Let's see here. We're going to pull up our rosters. Pull up the draft board. Boom. All right, let's go through this real quick. We got Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Zeke, Saquon, Jonathan Taylor, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and Stephon Diggs. And now it is on us, and we are in full PPR, right? So let's go ahead, look here. Let's open things up just a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. But boom. So we're not going to be looking at tight end or quarterback, obviously, and we're probably not looking at wide receiver either. So we are looking at the running back position here. We have Eckler, Aaron Jones, Chubb, Joe Mixon, Antonio Gibson, all available to us right now. And for me here, it's really kind of between Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones. I did this when we picked 12th. I started Aaron Jones and Austin Eckler, right? And last time I went with Jones first. It's a little bit of a toss-up to me, but right now, since Aaron Rodgers is kind of a question, let's go ahead and lock in Eckler. I love Eckler in terms of full PPR. I think he is extremely, extremely undervalued, and getting him here as our RB1 in the back half of the first round, he has the upside for 100 catches, could have a career high in terms of carries this season, so getting him here seems great to me. Now, back to the draft board. We see after us at the 111, Cam Akers rounds out the 12th, and Calvin Ridley rounds out the first, and Calvin Ridley starts off the second. So now it's back on us. Calvin Ridley before Davante Adams. Wow. All right, so it's the battle of the Packers here. You got Aaron Jones and you got Davante Adams. What do you do here, right? You have Aaron Jones, who has finished top 5 at the position 2 years in a row. And you know I love to lock up 2 running backs early. But you do have Davante Adams, who could potentially, probably if Aaron Rodgers plays, would be the favorite to finish as the wide receiver 1 overall. So what do we do here? You know, we do like to diversify things. We do like to try different things. And the mocks in the future, now that we've done all the spots, I'm probably going to be doing them more so the way that I would personally handle them. And usually I'd probably go with Aaron Jones. But let's take Davante Adams here because we're getting him at the second pick of the second round in a 12-team league and see how the team plays out, right? So we take Davante Adams there. We start off Eckler and Davante Adams, 2 guys that I think have the upside to finish, in Eckler's case, probably top 5 at the position, and Davante Adams obviously has the upside to finish first overall. Now, after we take Davante, we see Aaron Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, A.J. Brown, Chubb, Mixon, Najee, Justin Jefferson, Antonio Gibson, DK Metcalf, and Darren Waller round out the second. And the third starts with Michael Thomas, Clyde, Mahomes, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, George Kittle. Big run on wide receiver with a couple breaks with Patrick Mahomes starting in and George Kittle. Then Allen Robinson, Julio, Cooper, and CD Lamb. So I am happy I got Davante Adams there because a lot of the wide receivers went here. So now it is back on us at wide receiver. We have Woods, we have Godwin, Hockenson and Mark Andrews there at tight end, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray at QB, but I'm absolutely locking in my RB2 here. And another guy that I think is being a little bit disrespected in terms of full PPR is DeAndre Swift. Holy shit! Hold on, we'll get to that. All right. Whoa. Whoa, I don't know if y'all saw that, but we're going to talk about it anyways. DeAndre Swift here in the third round, in the third round, yes, in the start of the third round, end of the third round. I'm sorry, end of the third round. That's just tremendous value. I mean, they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. If there's one thing that the Lions have going for them too, it's they have a good offensive line. DeAndre Swift is going to be the lead back, right? He should be at least. He should be the main benefactor in terms of the receiving game. It's him, Hockenson, and then a myriad of C-tier wide receivers, right? You got Tyrell Williams, Rashad Perriman, and rookie Amon-Ra St. Brown. No one that's ever really been an alpha or anything really even close to it. So I think Hockenson and DeAndre Swift will receive a lot of the targets, and there's plenty of room for both DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams to eat. And I think DeAndre Swift has a lot of upside. There is a little risk there, but DeAndre Swift should be heavily involved and should be a value here in the third round. But looking at the draft board, we see after we go with Swift, Kyle Pitts. I told y'all it was going to happen at the 312. That is fucking ridiculous, man. I've seen it in best ball right around here on Underdog, but I mean, this is a simulator, but I wouldn't be surprised if he starts going in the third, fourth round come, draft season. After training camp, when he starts getting hyped up even more, I would not be surprised, but that is way too early for Kyle Pitts. But the fourth round starts with Lamar Jackson, and now it is back on us. Wow, I can't get over that. It's crazy. We have Eckler, Devontae Adams, and DeAndre Swift. Let's pull up their cheat sheet. Hockenson and Mark Andrews, not really looking there. Josh Allen, Kyler Murray. We are starting 3 wide receivers, but we have that flex spot too. So you know what? I waited a little with DeAndre Swift. I have 2 guys in Eckler and DeAndre Swift that are really just pass-catching guys, that are obviously involved, are going to be involved in the running game as well. But let's get a bruiser, let's get a grinder that has been getting more involved in terms of the receiving game year in and year out, and that is Chris Carson, running back of the Seattle Seahawks. They love to run the ball year in, year out. Carson has gotten more involved in terms of the receiving game. Russ has looked at him as more of a weapon in this offense, so I expect that to continue, and if he can stay healthy this season, I think he finishes well above where he is being drafted. Now, after we take Carson, we see Dak, Godwin, Josh Allen, Mike Evans, Robert Woods, Thielen, DJ Moore, Deontay, Cooper Kupp, and Miles Sanders round out the fourth, and the fifth starts with Lockett, Galladay, Brandon Ayuk, J.K. Dobbins, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Myles Gaskin, and T.J. Hockenson. Unfortunately, goes 1 pick before us in the 5th round, and now it is back on us, right? So we got 3 running backs we're comfortable with. This is good. In the first 5 rounds, I always like to walk out with 3 running backs, no matter how I get there, right? Usually I go running back, but now we have a strong wide receiver 1 with Devontae Adams. So if our wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 3 aren't as strong, it is not the end of the world. So we have a decision to make. Kyler's still there. Don't think I'm going to do that just yet, but I do see that Mark Andrews is still available. And I do like that. I do like the idea of having Mark Andrews here. Then we have Juju, Courtland Sutton, Odell, Chark, Claypool, Robbie Anderson. Wide receiver 2 not looking as strong for us here, but you know what? I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. We got 2 picks before our next pick. Let's look real quick. So, we have 2 picks. So he has Cam Akers, Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, Lamar Jackson. Actually, you know what? This guy's not going to draft Mark Andrews because he took Kyle Pitts. This is why we do this. This is why we pay attention to what's going on around us. Because I was thinking, you know what? Let me just lock in Mark Andrews here. But this guy's got Pitts and Lamar, right? So chances are he is not going to take Mark Andrews. If he did, that would just be stupid. So let's go ahead and go back over to the cheat sheet. Let's look at wide receiver. We have Juju, Courtland Sutton, Odell, DJ Chark, Claypool, Robbie Anderson. So I always take Courtland Sutton, man. I always take Courtland Sutton. But let's diversify things a little bit. You know what? This might be a little controversial, but in full PPR, I don't hate Juju here in the 5th round. Juju's a good wide receiver, right? Ben last season was just targeting him very very short area, right? Short area target Juju Smith-Schuster was. That he was. He was a short area target. And he got a lot of catches, though. And I expect him to get a lot of catches again this season, so that helps in PPR. And if his yards per target go up a little bit and he can be 90 catches, 1,000, 1,100 yards, and score 7, 8 touchdowns, whatever it is, then there is the upside there. And I think he has a relatively safe floor. And pairing him with Davante Adams a couple years ago, this would have been phenomenal. This year, I still don't hate it, man. Davante and Juju as my wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 is unbelievable. And now back to the draft board. This guy is a fucking maniac. QT pies. Like Kiki QT? Yeah, QT pies. These names are unbelievable. Storm Hoopers is here again. He picks Jerry Jeudy at the 512. Or this computer picks Jerry Jeudy at the 512. Oh my God. Then Mike Davis to start the 6th round. Pick Jerry Jeudy over Courtland Sutton. It's unreal. It's unreal. 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 Unfucking real. Wow. There's just such a huge gap here for me between Courtland Sutton and my next receiver. I think my next receiver in full PPR is Robbie Anderson, if I'm correct. Fuck it. We do it every time. Stay true to the brand. Lock in our wire. Oh, no. That's not what we're doing. We're reverting. I've never done this before. We're reverting. I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot. We're reverting. We're reverting our last pick. I'm sorry. We're reverting. I apologize. I had to do it. Because I'm taking Mark Andrews. That's why I did that. I forgot Mark Andrews was available. We're taking Mark Andrews here in the 6th round to be our tight end, right? We're taking Mark Andrews here because he's the last guy that is in that tier, in that Hawkins and Kyle Pitts tier. He's not in that 1st, 2nd tier, but he's in that 3rd tier for me. So getting him here in the 6th round is a great value for me. Sorry about that I reverted that. I kind of forgot that Mark Andrews was there. I didn't even look, because I don't know, because I'm an idiot. But whatever, forgive me. I do apologize. But we're back on the clock. We see after Mark Andrews, Kareem Hunt, Robert Tonyan. This draft is insane. Travis Etienne, Kyler Murray, Odell, Chase Claypool, Tyler Boyd, Courtland Sutton, DJ Chark, LaVisca. 7 starts with Robbie Anderson, Justin Herbert, Devonta Smith, Tyler Higbee, Russell Wilson, Debo, Will Fuller, Michael Pittman, 7-8, Chase Edmonds, and Curtis Samuel. What is going on? Is this Dynasty? No, it's not Dynasty. It's not Dynasty, is it? No, it's definitely not Dynasty. It's just like, whoa, dude. Michael Pittman, Robert Tonyan at the 6'4". I mean, that doesn't really scream Dynasty, but wow, jeepers. All right, it's back on us. Sometimes these throw you for a loop, man. But you never know what's going to happen in your draft, right? So it's back on us. We got 3 running backs we're comfortable with, our tight end, and we got Davante Adams and Juju, so I do want to lock in my wide receiver 3. Quickly, let's look at running back. Javonte, Raheem Mostert, James Robinson, Melvin Gordon, Damian Harris, a lot of guys there. Then we have Brandon Cooks, Jarvis Landry, Corey Davis, Antonio Brown, Devontae Parker, Michael Gallup, etc., etc., etc. For me here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Brandon Cooks, man. This offense is not going to be good if Deshaun Watson's not there. I mean, if Tyrod's the quarterback, that's going to be rough. But Brandon Cooks is the only real viable receiver on this team, so I wouldn't be surprised to be pushed for 150 targets this year. They're not going to be very valuable targets, but if he gets 75, 80 catches, gets you 900 yards and 5 or 6 touchdowns, it's not horrible here in the 7th round. So we get Brandon Cooks, right? So our starting lineup is pretty much locked up except for quarterback. We see Jarvis Landry come off the board to round out the 7th, and the 8th starts with my boy Javonte. Unfortunately, would have pulled the trigger on him there. So let's go ahead and look at the draft board. Quarterback, we have Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Hurts, Ryan Tannehill, Brady. Running back, Raheem Mostert, James Robinson, Melvin, Damian Harris, etc., etc., etc. Wide receiver, obviously not looking at tight end now that we have Mark Andrews. We got Corey Davis, Antonio Brown, Devontae Parker, Michael Gallup, Marquise Brown, Mike Williams, etc., etc., etc. So we got Devontae, Juju, Brandon Cooks. Who am I feeling? I think I'm leaning more towards wide receiver because I don't love the running backs here. And I'm okay with like even Michael Carter or Trey Sermon with this build as my running back 4. It's between Antonio Brown and probably Devontae Parker for me. You know what? It's really not. It's just Antonio Brown. Like I've mentioned a million times, I've talked about this so much. I think Antonio Brown, the difference in his draft position to Chris Godwin and Mike Evans is crazy. And I don't think it's because Antonio Brown's going necessarily too late, but I think just Godwin and Evans might be going a little bit too early because Antonio Brown very well could out-target those guys or at least be very, very close. We saw it last season. Brady loves to spread the ball around. So I think Antonio Brown has elite upside here. Not elite, but he could realistically finish as like a back-end wide receiver 2 this season. Getting that here in the 8th round is not bad whatsoever. I prefer him in the 10th round where I was drafting him a couple months ago in mocks, but whatever. What are you going to do? Then you see Logan Thomas, Aaron Rodgers, Marquise Brown, James Robinson, Ryan Tannehill, Raheem Mostert, Jalen Hurts, Melvin Gordon. Oh boy, we had a big run on running back. Raheem Mostert, Jalen Hurts, Melvin Gordon, Michael Gallup, Leonard Fournette rounded 8th, and the 9th starts with David Johnson, Trey Sermon, Jalen Waddle, Ronald Jones, Henry Ruggs, Damian Harris, Michael Carter, Zach Moss, James Conner, Jamal Williams. All the guys I like go flying off the board at running back, unfortunately. Who do we still have? Oh, okay, that's not terrible. So we're going to want to get a quarterback and probably another wide receiver here. You got Kenyon Drake there, Nyheim Hines, Singletary, and then at quarterback, you have Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford. Wide receiver, we're probably not going to do that here, but you got Corey Davis, Devontae Parker, Mike Williams, Marvin Jones, etc., etc., etc. You know what? Let me just do it. I'm going to lock in Kenyon Drake here as my RB4. I mean, his role is kind of up in the air, I guess you could say, because I expect him to be more of like the passing downs guy and be involved more in the receiving game than Josh Jacobs, but I also think he'll probably push for like 10 carries a game, probably get 4 targets. So if he can get 12 touches a game as my RB4, I can slot him in on bye weeks. And if anything were to happen to Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake will be in for a humongous workload. So now it is back on us. After we pick Kenyon Drake, we see Marvin Jones and Gus Edwards, Gus Bus, come off the board, and now it is back on us. And I kind of like go back and forth with this, man. Go back and forth with this, with Brady and Stafford, dude. Because Brady's like more of the proven commodity, but Stafford in this new offense, it's just, it just sounds so good, dude. So good. I don't want to wait, though, because I don't want to end up with like Matt Ryan or even like Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow would be in a tier below these guys for me. You know what? I picked Stafford a lot. I've never got my hands on Brady in one of these mocks. So let's get Brady here. I mean, pretty good. Yeah, see, value pick. I think it's a pretty good value there when all those quarterbacks are off the board to get Brady. I mean, he doesn't have the rushing upside, but we know what he can do in this offense. They are going to be a high-scoring, high-octane offense. So I don't hate Tom Brady here in the 10th round. So after Brady, we see J.D. McKissick, Nyheim Hines, A.J. Dillon, Noah Fant, Corey Davis, Mike Williams, Tariq Cohen, Dallas Goedert just went, whoa, holy smokes. This is weird. Devontae Parker, Matthew Stafford, round out the 10th. The 11th starts with Cole Beasley, Russell Gage, Devin Singletary, Christian Kirk, T.Y. Hilton, Tony Pollard, Jamison Crowder, Kenneth Gainwell, and James White. And then Nelson Aguilar goes off the board. And now it is back on us here in the 11th round. So let's pull up that there cheat sheet. We got 4 running backs. We've got 4 wide receivers, our quarterback, and our tight end. So we are going to be loading up a lot on wide receiver here. Running back, you do have Latavius Murray, Alexander Madison's there. So you do have some high-end backups. Is there anyone that I really like there? Not really. Wide receiver, though, I see Darnell Mooney, Mecole Hardman, Rashad Bateman, etc., etc., etc. So we got AB, Brandon Cooks, Juju, and Devontae Adams. I do want to look for some upside here. Rashad Bateman will probably fall back to me. Maybe. You know what? We never use this. Let's look at the pick predictor. This kind of tells you what the chances are of a player falling back to you. 11% chance that Rashad Bateman falls back to. Oh, but that's at our next pick. We want to check that next time. Right? 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 Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Let's lock in Darnell Mooney here because there's a better chance of Mooney going. So maybe we'll just take Bateman next. So this guy, unfortunately, Latavius Murray goes. I was actually kind of thinking about that. Kadarius Toney rounds out the 11th and the 12th starts with Latavius Murray. So now it's back on us. Let's take a quick look at running back. But Alexander Madison, I'm okay with this group I have. Worst case scenario. I don't necessarily need another running back. So let's go ahead and let's just lock in our boy. I feel like it's been a while. Like I haven't drafted Bateman for a while. Reach alert. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. That's my guy. Bateman there, baby, as my wide receiver. 6? It's cool by me, brother. All right with that. So after we go with Bateman, we see Darrell Henderson, Tua, Gabe Davis, Sterling Shepard, Joe Burrow, Hunter Henry, Philip Lindsay, Irv Smith, Mike Gesicki, and Trevor Lawrence. And then the 13th starts with Alexander Madison, Tevin Coleman, Gio. Unfortunately, I was actually thinking about Gio. Evan Engram, Rashad Penny, Salvon Ahmed, Rob Gronkowski, Todd Gurley, Sony Michel, and Rondell Moore. And now it is back on us. And I love Bateman, man. If you're new and you don't know this, I do love Rashad Bateman's talent. The Ravens off, I have Mark Andrews too. Whatever. Who cares? I expect this Ravens offense to throw the ball more frequently, and I think Bateman will be the number one wide receiver, overtaking Marquise Brown, because he's built more like an alpha, and Marquise Brown will play more of a complementary role this season, and Mark Andrews as well is probably going to be the target leader on the team, so I do not hate this. They should throw the ball more this season. Now, running back, we have Darrell Williams, Marlon Mack, Darrington Evans, Damian Williams, a lot of stuff I'm really not hot on, so we're probably just going to wrap it up at running back for this draft, and maybe we'll take a backup quarterback a little later and fill in at wide receiver. We got Rager, Mecole Hardman, John Brown, Paris Campbell, Elijah Moore, etc., etc., etc. You know what? I'm going to take Mecole Hardman. I have not drafted Mecole Hardman in a mock yet this season. Sorry. Shit. My foot got itchy. And I just think there's a lot of upside there. Obviously, there always is. And a part of me just wants to give up on Mecole Hardman and stop. And I was never huge on him anyways. But this season, if there was ever a time for him to excel, it's now, right? Because Sammy Watkins gone. He is the clear-cut number 2 receiver on his team. Well, he should be. Himself, Demarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle. He's clearly the guy that should be the guy as the number 2 receiver. But we'll see what happens. Like always, though, if he doesn't work out, you can always just cut him. It's no big deal. Now, back to the draft board. We see after we go with Mecole Hardman, Jalen Rager, and Marlon Mack, and now it is back on us. Let's go ahead and pull up their cheat sheet. John Brown, Paris Campbell, Elijah Moore, Bashad Perryman. So it's Elijah Moore, John Brown, and I feel like I've kind of just gone back and forth with these guys in the past couple drafts. I've gotten both of them. So let's just get John Brown here. Again, I think John Brown has a lot of upside to be the wide receiver 1 in this offense. And if he is and he gets over 100 targets, then obviously here, very late in your draft, that will help. He is a good player. He was hurt a lot last season, but do not forget, a couple of years ago in Buffalo when he was the number 1, he went for over 1,000 yards. So after John Brown, we see Mark Ingram, Jonnu, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Elijah Moore, Paris Campbell, Jeff Wilson on the pup, do not fucking draft him, Matt Ryan, Emmanuel Sanders, Chuba Hubbard, AJ Green. 15th starts with Alan Lazard, Zach Ertz, Terrace Marshall. Damn, I was going to draft Terrace Marshall in my last pick. Darius Slayton, Adam Troutman, Bashad Perriman, Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, Denzel Mims, Anthony Miller. And now it is back on us, right? Okay, so we're loaded up at wide receiver, and we have 4 running backs. We have a good tight end. Let's take a backup quarterback because we have Brady, who's kind of safe. Let's go with an upside pick here, and we'll hold them on the bench as long as we can. If we got to cut him, whatever. I mean, at this point, what am I looking at? Running back, we have Darrell Williams, Darrington Evans, Damian Williams, Jacoby Myers, Traquan Smith. Nobody that I'm super excited to draft. So let's take more of an exciting pick, and we usually do Trey Lance here, but let's go with Justin Fields this time. You know what I mean? Chicago Bears, obviously. I mean, if he takes over the starter, he does have a lot of upside there. And I do think he will take over as the starter eventually. How far into the season? I believe I am projected to start 9 games and 9 or 10, maybe even 11. I might have him for 11 and Dalton for 6. So if he takes over, if we can hold him till week 6, great. If we can't, whatever, we'll just take a flyer there, see if we can hold on to him. If not, whatever. So we got a B+, an 88 out of 100. Let's take a quick look at the team. Actually, you know what? I like looking at it this way. So round 1, we went Eckler, then Devontae Adams, DeAndre Swift in the 3rd, Chris Carson in the 4th, Juju in the 5th, Mark Andrews in the 6th, Brandon Cooks in the 7th, Antonio Brown in the 8th, Kenny Drake in the 9th, Brady as our quarterback in the 10th, Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman, Mecole Hardman, John Brown, and Justin Fields. And when you look at it in terms of our roster construction, it's going to be Brady at quarterback, Eckler and Swift as our running back 1 and running back 2, Devontae Adams and Juju as our wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, Brandon Cooks as the wide receiver 3, switching out with Antonio Brown, Darnell Mooney, Bateman, whoever it may be, Mark Andrews as our tight end, and then our flex will be a combination, like I mentioned, of our flex would be Chris Carson. Our flex would be Chris Carson, and then the bench is, like we had mentioned, Antonio Brown, Drake, Darnell Mooney, Bateman, Mecole Hardman, John Brown, and Justin Fields. This draft was fucking odd, man, and I feel like it's kind of good. It's cool to be different for the last one of the gauntlet. The mocks will still be coming. Don't you fret. I have more coming for y'all, but this was the last one in the gauntlet, getting that 11 spot done, so I'm happy that we did that. But let me know down in the comments what y'all thought of the mock. If you enjoyed the video, if you agreed, disagreed with any of my picks, any mocks you might want to see in the future. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, help your boy reach that goal of 200 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the fantasy football season. And make sure to check down in the description for my socials for the podcast. Follow me on the socials. Drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts if you do not mind. If you do have an iPhone, if you do have an Apple product, I would really, really appreciate it. But that's it. That's all. That's all there is. Me, my boy, we are out. We will catch y'all next time. And as always, thank you. Love you. Peace.